Merry Christmas. It's John Arnold here from The Practical Disciple, and I'm sitting here in my living room, and it's Christmas morning. I just wanted to take a moment and wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And I want to thank everyone who's been reading over the past year. Lots gone on. About a year ago, I decided to do Through the Bible in a Year study, and I think last count there's a little over 170 folks in there who are joining together and reading through the Bible in a year, and that's been a neat experience to watch unfold as the year pressed on. To those of you who joined in right at the beginning of that, I put a big thank you out to you and a bit of an apology too, because I know I have been behind on the lessons. The lessons have been a whole lot harder to put together than I thought they would be, more time consuming. And that's why some of you haven't seen regular posts out of me, those of you who subscribe to my regular posts. I've been kind of sucked away on two really important projects. One is working on lessons for Through the Bible in a Year, and I'm hoping, got my fingers crossed, that I will have all of those done before we hit January 1. It's going to be close, but I'm going to try. The other thing I've been doing is looking at all of the feedback you guys have been sending me, particularly in the 30-day survey on the Through the Bible in a Year program, and trying to learn what I can from that to tweak it for the next year. And now I keep talking about as the next year comes up. You can actually join in that Bible reading program anytime. You can. It doesn't matter if you start on January 1 or March 3rd or June 15th. You'll still get the same lessons in the same order at the same rate as anyone who joins at the beginning of the year. But I've been working on trying to figure out how I can take it and make it not time dependent, because one of the things that I've learned as I've been looking at the feedback I get from you is that a lot of people jump in and they're realizing that in order to get through the Bible in a year, there's just no way around reading 3 or 4 chapters a day. And that's when people start doing it, some folks are finding that's more than they had bargained for. So I get some folks who stop doing it because it's just more than they anticipated. And you know, that's okay. This isn't a race. Nobody's grading you on it. It's really not about getting done in a year, though that's the goal for many of you. Ideally, you're just working on reading daily and getting that as a habit in your life and as a routine that is a daily gift between you and God. And if you do that, you'll read the Bible dozens of times. So, all of that said, once I get through with the lessons, I've been working behind the scenes on a way where I can make all of those lessons available to someone at once, rather than being doled out email by email over the course of the year. That way, those of you who want to do that program but slow it down and do it at a different pace, or maybe you just want to access the lessons as you read various books of the Bible, you'll have that access. So that's kind of drawn me away from writing my regular blog post. And the other thing, and this is something I'm really excited about, is for about 6 or 8 months, I've been working for and with a friend of mine, Allison Lewis. You've seen her in earlier blog posts where she was the very first interview I ever did with anybody on The Practical Disciple. And she's been working on a book, and the book is coming out, called The 7-Minute Solution. This is what it looks like. It's not in the stores yet. It's going to go in the stores December 27th. And that's really fun and exciting to see happen. I'm elated for Allison that she's completed this, and it was a joy working with her on it. And so I'll say more about that in another post, but it's going to be hitting the bookstores December 27th, and we're going to run up to Jonesboro. I say we, my daughter and my wife and I, we're going to run up to Jonesboro on the 27th and be there for the book signing. And when that happens, I'll try to get a link out to you, because I think they're going to be streaming live from the bookstore about her book launch. Now, this book isn't explicitly a Christian book per se. Allison is a strong, dedicated believer, and it's definitely, I think, a God calling for her to write it. But what it is about is how we can kind of take control of our lives so that we're not just more productive. Allison's really great at teaching greater productivity, but so that we're more productive and we have growing greater meaning in our lives. The kind of the tagline on it is the 7-minute solution: creating a life with meaning 7 minutes at a time. So there's a lot of good stuff out there on time management, and Allison does that, but what I think she does best in this thing is she teaches us how to make sure that we are applying ourselves in a way where we're building meaning into our lives daily so that we're truly living out our most core, closest values to our heart on a daily basis. And so while I said a moment ago, prefaced it saying this isn't explicitly a Christian book, I think it's a book that benefits every Christian, and that's why I jumped in and helped with it, because you can take all the lessons she's talking about and you can apply them to your walk of faith. I mean, you can look at it and say, this is what matters to me as a Christian and as a believer. How can I put more of that into my daily life so that I'm not expending and wasting my life on just being busy or on things that are not that are inconsequential. So I'll share more about that in a later book, and I'm talking to Allison about how can we adapt these specifically for believers, for disciples, so that they can hands-on begin applying this in their life. Because my wish for you is that this next year, it is going to be your best year ever as a disciple. And I want you to start thinking about that, be really intentional about, as I move into the new year, 30 days from now, 6 months from now, a year from now, when I find myself sitting here on Christmas Day a year from now, what do I hope I will have given to God that I didn't this past year? What do I hope I will have experienced of God that I didn't this past year? And really begin to start thinking about those things. And as I said, I'll be putting more information out about how you can live into that over the next couple weeks as we move into the new year. So, Merry Christmas from my home to yours. We had, as I said earlier, a great Christmas. It was really fun to have worship on Christmas Day because it was, in a way, we got to give a gift back to God by giving worship back to God on His birthday. So, have a blessed new year, and I will talk to you soon. I will see you in another video. God bless. Bye.